You're going to start by using a square-headed brush. They're really great for on the side. If you use it on the side, you have a natural point. So you always, with flames, the point is on top, the roundness is on the bottom. Adding a little red here, that'll be my bottom part where the ashes are. And I started with the yellow, and we're going to leave some white in here too. When flames are really hot and they're burning, they're actually white in the middle. Now here I'm going to go in and we're going to do some logs. Normally, I paint my background first and then whatever is in front of that, I paint second. In this case, my logs are part of my background, but I really felt that I needed that white behind my yellow so that I would have vibrant colors for my flames. So you just want to sneak these in, and it's okay if you cover up part of the flame, no problem. The darker logs are going to be here in the forefront. And we're just adding a couple colors. It's browns and black and some orange tones. Now back here I'm going a little lighter. That's where it's more immersed into the flame, so there's going to be a lot more orange on that. There's always some purple in a very hot flame, so that's why I'm adding some. Normally it's at the bottom. I do smudge with my fingers. I know it's paint, but I grew up using charcoals and soft pencils a lot, so I got used to smudging with my finger. And you know what? It works in paint too. What's a little, finger paint once in a while? That's always good. Just brush it on here. I'm not rinsing my brush in between. So you can see my colors are just kind of muted here in the front, and I like that look. I think it's very ashy. I'm also adding this ash color to part of my logs. Time to try something a little bit different. I want a log that is facing in a different direction here. So this would be the side view of a log. And then there's some more background stuff too. Starting with my light colors, I'll go in with some darks then. Just little hints of a log behind that one flame. There I go again. I know using my fingers, but it works. Gonna round this out and grab a little bit of black here. Okay, it's time to add a few more flames here to the front. We're using white. Keep the point on the top. And also I switched to a pointed brush for this because I just want little ones, just little flames bursting up here. We can add a little more yellow then after we get this white on first. Now we could just leave that flame alone, and that could be like a campfire or an open flame area, but I'm gonna add it to a fireplace. So now I'm just putting that glow that would be on the wall, the back wall of the fireplace, and I'm hitting that with bright oranges and yellows, and I'm trying to be really careful around my flames. If I wet this down a little bit, so this is a thinner, you can see now I'm just kind of brushing a thin layer, so that's water and yellow paint, and it's called a wash, and I'm washing over that background, still leaving some white, and now I'll go in with thicker color over top of some of my flames. A little trickier, but it's a really cool effect, and I think you can do it. Here we're adding the edges. So just brown, a watered down brown. So water and brown paint, and use a straight edge on this. You don't have to use a ruler. You can use just a piece of paper that has a straight edge because it makes life easier. It's so much faster to use an edge like that. And it doesn't even matter if it bleeds in underneath a little bit, but you have that basic straight edge. Really quick, really easy. We're going to add to this later too, just a little bit, but black and brown I used here for the top. Want a little more shadow there. Here's where we add dimension. So you need to have these diagonal lines that go out from our square. Think of it as a cube, a 3D look we're going for here. And then the straight line, of course, across to meet them. Diagonals out from the corners at the top as well. And then you're going to connect all of these from point to point. Okay, time for color. On the top, we're going to have a lot of reflection from that fire. Keep it light. And here on the sides, we're still going to be pretty light. A little more brown in here. It's not getting quite as much light from the fire. Nice bright orange here on the side. Then we'll add some browns in the corner areas. Older brushes work really well for this kind of rustic look. Time to add some kind of maybe stone or old brick here. And this is a couple colors loaded up on this old brush. So I have reds and browns, but you'll see I'm going to add a lot more colors to that too. Blacks, some yellows, and I'm just gonna pounce it on. I want it to look like a rough finish. Don't forget though too, it makes it easier if you grab that straight edge. So here we go with that. And you don't have to be as careful, and you'll get right up there to that edge. This is really easy to do. It is more of a dry brush technique. So I'm putting the paint on, but it's not real wet. And I think we'll go for that. That looks old and rustic. Here it is, our complete fire. So of course, if I was going to add a room to this, I would take, especially if this is my centerpiece, I would actually take some lines like this, maybe a wood floor look. And then these on the right side would go more and more angled, and on the left side it goes more and more angled. I can show you how to do a floor in a different video. But I think it looks pretty good, nice and warm. You can, if it's Christmas time, you can put some stockings in the front of this. Warm you right up on those cold winter nights. Thanks for watching.